when I came down to check on her, now there's water coming out of the ceiling over here. So here, we'll go visit that exhibit really quick. So when I have time, I do make our own bread. It's definitely more affordable. It comes out probably to about the same price as a regular loaf, but I use better quality ingredients, like I use organic flour and stuff. But this one turned out really, really well. I'll have to post the recipe. But it's funny because the recipe, I've been using this recipe for a long time because, are we gonna open? Okay, we're okay. It doesn't have any dairy or anything in it, but it still has honey, and it still tastes good. It has oats and stuff, but because Ellie can't have dairy, I try and steer clear of those kinds of recipes. I try to make things that we can all have. But the recipe itself says to do a 1 loaf in the bread maker, like a 1 pound loaf. But I did a 1.5 pound loaf yesterday, and it actually worked out way better. It's super fluffy and stuff. So, and it didn't make sense for it to only be 1 pound based on what the ingredients in it were. So I'm glad I tried it. I was a little afraid to try it and mess it up, but it turned out good. Nick loves it in the morning. He loves to have homemade bread. So bread makers also, if you don't have one and you're like a bread person, you definitely should have one. They're super, mine's super easy. One of my friends is having some trouble with theirs, but you just like put the ingredients in, and if it's non-perishable ingredients, like just flour and water and honey and oats like this one, you can set it on a delay cycle. And so like last night I put it in around 9 something and just set it to be done at 5:30, so Nick had bread in the morning when he woke up. It's definitely, I love it. And it's not even hard. I mean, you just kind of dump all the ingredients in and press some buttons and you're done. I really like it with honey. We get this honey from a farmer's market. It's called, it's gonna be backwards on here, but Bella. And this one's peppermint flavored, and they're so good. They have chocolate flavored, they have regular, but it's creamed honey, so it's not like clear. It's hard to explain. You can kind of see it on here. It's not like regular, like it's sticky, but it's like got a white, cloudy color to it. You want more bread? Okay. It's funny with the bread because we'll go through phases where everybody in the house will eat a ton of bread and then nobody will eat any. So usually what happens is I'll make a bunch. I can't remember what her bottle. I'll make a bunch and I'll be like, you know, making a loaf a day for a while, and then, you know, I'll start making them. I'm noticing more and more of them are not getting eaten before they get stale, and then I'll stop. And I usually stop for too long because like once I get out of the habit of it, I just don't pick it back up for a while. And when I get back to making it again, everybody's hasn't had it in so long, so everybody's craving it again and eating a bunch of it. So it's funny right now. I don't know the last time. I don't know the last time I made one. It was a while ago. So Amelia's enjoying it. Ellie enjoyed some of it. I liked it. Nick liked it. So right now we are back in a bread loving phase apparently. So I have so many things that I want to have done around the house. This is just water. I don't remember if there was juice in this yesterday or water. Yeah, I have so many things I want to do around the house. One of the biggest things is our garage. Our garage is a disaster. I have way too much stuff. Like if you're watching my other videos, you already know that. I've talked about it. I have a lot of stuff. So I need to go through and get rid of the stuff we don't need or organize, at the very least organize. I did last week. We finally got rid of a table that we've been hanging on to forever that was taking up a bunch of space in our garage. It was like a dining table, so we weren't using it anymore because we have a new one. And I've been wanting to sell it, but it takes time to list things, and then the Facebook Marketplace thing isn't my favorite. I don't love really anything about that. I like to buy off of it, but I don't know, selling off of it, I don't know if it was really worth the time. So we ended up just putting it out and putting a free sign on it. The bummer is though, we forgot to put out the leaf that goes with it. So I'm hoping whoever took it is somebody that is in the neighborhood, because I think I'm going to put the leaf out and just like put a sign on it that says, you know, this was supposed to go with the table, that whoever picked it up, you know, sorry, but here it is. So I do like being able to give it away. We gave the chairs away a few months ago. It's kind of nice because it's like fun to think about if I was looking for a table, and it was a decent table. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't our style anymore. But like if I was looking for a table and needed one and I was driving through the neighborhood and there's a free table, like what a great day that would be. So I'm glad that we got to facilitate that for somebody else. I wish I would have remembered the leaf because that would have made it even better. But I think I just need to do some more stuff like that. I got rid of a couple of the baby things that we just have like duplicates of. We had a bunch of walkers. It's so hard to get rid of baby stuff for me though, because like, I don't know, you feel like you're getting rid of memories, which isn't accurate. I'm sentimental with things, and it does. To me, it feels like I'm getting rid of memories, but I know I'm not. Obviously, we have plenty of stuff for kids and babies, and hang on. Okay, so yesterday was the first day of the new semester. So it's semester 2 of nursing school for me. And everything was going good until I flooded my house. So I had the bathtub upstairs. I was filling it with hot water and some vinegar to clean that bathtub. I was filling it with water, and as I left, because Amelia was hungry and wanted to go downstairs, as I was leaving, I was like, is this a good idea? Am I gonna forget about it? Should I set an alarm? No, I left it running, thought it was a good idea, did not set an alarm. Because, okay, I'll get you some food. Let's see if I can finish the story. So, I went downstairs, got involved, got Amelia something to eat, got involved in cleaning the bathroom downstairs. Wasn't thinking much of it. I heard this weird sound that, let me move this. I heard this weird sound and kind of looked over, thought it was the dogs outside doing something, didn't think much of it, kept cleaning, and then, I don't know, a few minutes later, the sound was like a lot more obnoxious, and I was like, okay, this is annoying, what is this? So I come out of my bathroom, and it's in the living room. So I'm like walking towards the living room, and now I'm kind of like creeped out. I'm like, what the heck is making this sound? Because it didn't sound like water. It sounded like electricity or so, I don't even know, or crackling. It sounded like a crackling because of what it was hitting, I guess. And so I look up, hang on. Okay, so excuse the complete disaster because this is it all ties in. I mean, my house is usually kind of like this, but so I'm walking and I'm like hearing this noise here, and I look up and there's water coming out of one of those little screw holes. Actually, the only screw hole that does not have a hole. So it's the one on the right closest to us. And so immediately I know what has happened. So as soon as I see the water, I'm like, oh my gosh, I left the bathtub on. Okay, hang on, I'll get you. So I run upstairs, turn off the bathtub, obviously. I'm just gonna put you on the other side. Turn off the bathtub, start frantically trying to dry the floor, and it really wasn't even that much water, which is like actually annoying to me. I know that's a good thing because there's probably less damage, but it's annoying that it didn't even take that much water. Like, it wasn't like it was inches of water even. It just was like a layer of water. It had gone into my closet. Amelia was still downstairs, so I didn't want to leave her, so I dried up quickly what I could. I ran downstairs, turned the TV on for her because that'll keep her occupied. Came back upstairs, let her know what was going on, and she's like sitting on the couch. She's like, oh God, oh God. It's like, no, it's okay. It's all, yeah, it's not okay, but it's okay. We're safe at least. So, whoops. So, I think it was when I came down to check on her. Now there's water coming out of the ceiling over here. So here, we'll go visit that exhibit really quick. There's the vent where it originally was coming from, and then it was coming from this little, now is a crack in the ceiling, or, well, it's not a crack in the ceiling, but you know, it's probably between the sheetrock. So now it's like dripping out of here much quicker than it was out of the vent. So I ran back upstairs, figured the water must have been some other location. It had gone into my closet. In the back of my closet, the floor doesn't quite meet the ceiling, LOL. The floor doesn't quite meet the wall, and nobody like caulked it apparently. So that's where the water was seeping through. With the vent, there's a spot, kind of the same deal, closer to the bathtub. So that's where the water was going through. I feel like had it been caulked, because it wasn't that much water, it wasn't like it was sitting there for hours. I mean, it had probably just started overflowing, because it wasn't, I dried it up with less than 10 towels. Like, it wasn't that much water, but there was a crack in the floor, like, wall area, and so it poured through. So that was good. I had to take everything out of the closet because the closet floor was wet. Everything was in my bedroom. Now it's a disaster down here because I just let the kids, Ellie was still asleep, which was good, but I let Amelia do whatever just to keep her entertained while I was cleaning it down here. And by the time I got done with dinner and stuff, I did some things upstairs. I put the kids' clothes back in our closet and cleaned up like the hallway from other stuff, had nothing to do with water. But yeah, so that's how I started off the semester. I also soaked my textbooks. So fortunately, they're not the super expensive textbooks, but they still cost money. And I'm a book person. Like, I love to have, they're the books, even though they're not the expensive textbooks, they're the books that I probably use the most. So they're all warped and, you know, looks like I dropped them in a bathtub, basically. My skills checklist, which is what they do to keep track of the things that you've done, you need to have it to graduate, that got all wet. Fortunately, it all seems to be drying out. It just will never look the same. It looks like wet paper, but oh well. We're gonna go visit the textbooks real quick, just so that I can show you guys. So this is the skills checklist, which, like I said, looks like it got wet, but for the most part, it looks like it's gonna be okay. I was most worried about this one because, like I said, you need that one to graduate. It's not really, I don't even know. I mean, they've got to have some kind of, I can't be the first person something like this has happened to, where their skills checklist got destroyed, but I don't know what their process would be. So then this one's my nursing diagnosis guide, which I absolutely adore because it's smaller. I actually bought this one by accident, but I end up liking it a lot more. It's smaller than the one that we're technically required to have, but it's got all of the same information. Same thing, like it's usable. It's just a bummer because I love books and I don't love books to be destroyed. That drives me crazy. My drug guide actually doesn't look too bad. I haven't really looked through the books. I was trying to put out other fires first to soak up other floods. So the back page is definitely just a little wet. Maybe when they dry they'll be okay. Let me see if I can keep that open. And then this book's still wet. I should do the same thing, flip this one open. This book was stupid anyway. I don't really care about that one. It wasn't that useful. This book's wet. Same thing. I really like this one because it's a mini version of the one we actually need, but it's technically not a required book. I have the required one, so I guess it's not a huge deal. I actually forgot I had the required one until just now, so I'm fortunate that I don't think I'm going to have to replace anything. The skills checklist is probably okay. I'll have to have them look and make sure they're okay with the initials being the way they are. But as you saw, the downstairs is a disaster. My bedroom is now a disaster because a bunch of stuff was pulled out of the closet. Still haven't finished cleaning the bathroom down here. Really didn't get to clean the bathroom or the bathtub upstairs because I didn't get to like scrub it or anything. So I just have a lot of stuff to do today. And I don't think it's all gonna get done because I have the kids. And so, and then on top of it, I have to study. So I'm on slide 57 of 96 or something. So I'm glad I started on Sunday because I got through about a third of it on Sunday. I got through like 30 something pages. Are you stuck? On Sunday, so I'm glad that I started because that gave me enough of a head start to sabotage myself yesterday. So anyway, my first lab is Friday. My first clinical isn't until next week, and it's not even an actual clinical. It's at one of the campuses. So I'm gonna try and work some more on the PowerPoint today. I'll definitely try and clean the house some more today, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I took the kids out for a little bit with my mom, and we went shopping at Hobby Lobby, and then we went shopping at a secondhand kids store. If you're in Vegas, meet in Mommy to Be. It's super great. They've got a lot of good stuff, especially for like little babies. Amelia's age, they don't have quite as much, but for like the first, I'd say 18 months, they have a lot of stuff there. They have toys and stuff too. So, and strollers and stuff like that. But okay, I'll change it in a second. But Amelia used the potty, so they're gonna watch a little bit of TV because that's her reward. I let her watch like 8 minutes of Bluey, depending on if it's 1 or 2. 1, we're not really doing rewards anymore, but number 2, we are. So I'm on the Discord for my semester, and somebody said only 3 of the 9 people in their lab passed the math exam. So now I'm a little nervous about that. So I did good on the practice one I took. We have to pass with a 95%. I did good on it except for the time problems. I was off by a minute on some of them, but one of my friends helped me with calculating those, so hopefully I won't have any issues with that. I think they have a second practice exam, so I'm gonna take that now and just hope that I do. Hopefully I get 100%, because I really don't want to have to. We only get 2 shots at it, so I'll take the one on Friday, and then I have another. I don't know when the next try is. I think it's the following week. But obviously 3 out of 9 is not great, so that makes me a little nervous. Ready? Are you ready? Okay, ready, set, go! Yay! You're so cute. Oh, there goes Ellie. Yay! Okay, so the girls definitely needed to get out of the house, so I took them to the park. This though is the old town that basically I grew up in. Like if I was to label hometown for myself, it would be here. We lived a little bit further out from here, but we were on their bus route, so we were technically members of the town. I actually want to go this way, but it's crazy to drive through somewhere that you used to like spend a lot of time in that you don't ever go to anymore. That they have a little community pool, which is where I did swim team for a lot of years. But yeah, there's parts of it I miss. I wish that we could move here. There's not a lot of houses. I think there's only 200, and most of them usually are occupied. Either somebody owns them or somebody's already renting them, but they have a little private park over here. We only go to the public park, but yeah, I miss it. I definitely miss living here, or well, basically living here, spending a lot of time here. This was where a lot of my friends were when I was really young. But yeah, it's fun to drive through, but it's also a little bit sad because, you know, you have all the memories, and like, I don't think many of the people who, like the kids, I don't think many of my friends live here anymore. But yeah, it's wild. Hopefully, it'd be nice if we could move here someday. There's not a lot of houses here, but I definitely, and it was originally a mining town, so it's Blue Diamond, Nevada. But I would consider downsizing to live here, depending on the house. Like if we saw the house and the house was the right house, I definitely would consider downsizing because they have so much to do outside. Most of their properties have a decent backyard. And then the layouts of the houses that my friends lived in, all the layouts were really nice. So even though they were smaller houses, they still worked out pretty well. So I don't know, maybe someday. That would be nice. I would love it. Okay, so we're home. The kids are in bed. Amelia's not asleep, but she's in her room, so hopefully she'll be asleep soonish. I'm gonna take another one of the practice, because they had 2 practice exams. Go to your room. go to sleep. They had 2 practice exams up, and I only took for the dosage calculation, and I only took 1. So I'm going to take number 2, see how I do on that, and I will give you guys updates. I'm already in my pajamas. Everybody's already eaten. So let's see how it goes. So I got through half of it. Nick's ready to go to bed, so I'll just finish the rest tomorrow. I did get 1 out of 10 wrong. I can only get 1 wrong out of 20. So that would be the only one I could have gotten wrong. I will say though, if I was actually taking the exam, I would have gone back and double checked, and hopefully I would have caught the mistake I made. I made a simple mistake on a 24-hour intake. I should have multiplied 1. What it was that I didn't realize that 1 was over. For some reason, I thought it was over 30 minutes instead of an hour. It clearly says an hour. So hopefully I would have caught that if I had done it a second time, because my plan is to do it twice. Hopefully I have the time to do that, or at least to fact check what I do have. So crossing my fingers that on Friday, today's Wednesday, on Friday, I'll do okay. I'm gonna pick out some more. Well, I'll finish the other half of the practice test tomorrow, and then I'm gonna pick out some more just like random problems tomorrow and work on those. So I also got some more of my slides from my lecture done. So